Thank you for joining me here. Well, the whole discussion is about how to make lending simpler, faster, and accessible. Well, India is on the cusp of digital transformation or transformation like we've never seen before. I think there's a lot of things happening on the co-lending space, personalized lending, digital lending, and that's all because of the impetus that RBI has towards maintaining the repo rates and also the credit recovery growth that's happening. In fact, if you look at it, the NBFCs as lenders are maturing technologically as well. So there's a lot of things happening on the digitization of new age loan originations, better media coverage, cloud adoption, and things like that, which is pulling it through. NBFCs, however, have a lot of challenges at an overall level. That's maintaining things from a compliance perspective, from the NPL perspective, develop new products and keep. So it's not just the other NBFCs that are there, but also to kind of compete with the banks at an overall level. The way forward is to innovate, make things better, and make things simpler, accessible for the end users at a never ending pace. So, how do we achieve it? So, all that we know is a loan is a loan is a loan, right? And your customer wants more loans. And the customer profile is changing at an overall level and it's changing fast. So, how do we adapt at one level of the traditional lending products that were already there and cater still to the fast changing profile as such? So the whole challenge is, are you fast, nimble, simple, and accessible? So it's all about that. NBFCs did start getting onto the bandwagon of digital around a decade back, and they invested a lot on probably portals, on mobility, on social channel integrations, on analytics to some extent during the last 2 3 years before the chat GPT buzz kind of came in. But did it actually transform experiences at an overall level? Well, uh, the whole problem is that with the changing profile of customers at the end of the day, they expect things to be done in a jiffy. They just expect things to be loaned to be dispersed as soon as possible, in a day, in a few hours, and the time span keeps coming down. Can they apply 100% online? Once they've applied, does the underwriting happen automatically? Does the underwriting be supported by analytics and AI to maintain the risk of NPAs? At the end of the day, regulations are changing. So, how does the regulation perspective change? How does it become more effective at the end of the day with technological trends? It's not just about the origination, it's also about servicing, keeping it quick, keeping it simple, keeping it fast. It's also about collections. So it's all about doing things from an end to end perspective. So going digital is not equivalent to digital transformation at the end of the day, as we keep referring back to. Let's kind of extrapolate it to Sneha, who's there, who's a millennial, high earning one, needs a loan, walks up to your side, probably gets frustrated at the end of the day, long cycles, long waiting times, and gets broken, moves on. So, reverse, there's a millennial called Sneha who's digitally savvy, has time for herself, wants to kind of look at the overall profile, wants to work on it, and then take it forward. So she wants a loan, she applies it online, she expects it to be simple, a cakewalk. Nothing happens for quite a while. She tries again, again, again. Nothing happens. So finally, she gets frustrated and moves on. So, what could have been a loyal customer ends up being a frustrated uh, prospect, and she moves on from there. It's not just about the origination front, it's also about Harsh, who is probably got a well paid executive who got his bonus and wants to pay it off. So his existing things want to be paid off. That's where he anticipates no issues and things should be, excuse me, things should be really quick. Well, he calls up online, expects a simple answer that, look, sir, you have been a brilliant customer with us. Your loan repayment can be done in such and such ways. However, doesn't get a right response, nor a reason why things can't happen quickly, gives it up and moves on. So, most organizations follow band-aid approach of automating what is there at any point of time and quickly fixing it rather than looking at a process holistically and working on it. What is required is digital acceleration, and how do you assist digital acceleration is in three ways. Build on on customer service, that's the front end. Automate the mid office and back office processes and stitch it together for operational excellence. And finally, continuously keep on innovating upon it for innovative excellence at the end of the day. All these need to be done holistically to give that right digital experience to the customer and make him a nice one for you. Well, lending is also one such thing. It needs to be considered holistically, not as a band aid approach of doing origination first, servicing later, collections later. Think about the whole journey holistically. And for doing that, you need to automate the end to end thing at any point of time. It's not just about origination, but servicing collections, as I keep on mentioning back and back. It's all about automating the documents that flow along with the processing for KYC and other purposes, for instant ID verification. Real time integration, we have a lot of fintechs available today who give you real time data with a lot of parameters to for credit assessment and taking those wise decisions with you. It's all the integrated ecosystem that comes in. And trust me, India has a lot of brilliant fintechs available. Multi-bureau credit check and underwriting models with built-in AI to give you that assistive intelligence so that you can make the right choices for right NPAs to be kind of handled. Automate alerts and early warnings for foolproof collections. Anticipate what could go wrong. Use AI in it for early warning. There's a lot of impetus on BNPL and co-lending, which have to be integrated into the whole system and made end-to-end at an overall level. Uh, Customers today can come in via any channel. It can be the mobile, it can be the portal, it can be a walk-in, it can be agents, it can be banks. So you have to handle everything in order to not miss an opportunity. And that can be done through the omni-channel experience that we talk about. Cloud native. One of the brilliant things that has happened today is that NBFCs, unlike the banks, don't maintain high IT teams. Cloud comes to their rescue. So that's where cloud native applications for dynamic scaling up and down and working on so-called microservices become so critical. Differentiate from competitors by rapidly building unique capabilities, and this can be done using advanced analytics. All this has to be done correctly at the right points of time, thinking about the holistic journey from origination to collections. Let's look at Sneha back again. The retail loans that were being talked about, 30 minutes, how? Well, and statistics show that once a person is in active state of scouting around, they would consult their friends, families, even talk to Alexa to kind of see what are the options available. So she drops a mail, gets a response back, applies online, gets the right product selected for her, moves forward, takes a selfie, takes the details. She's checked online through credit bureaus, through the social checks and other things. Everything seems to be all right. Real time status validated, verified, and then finally confirmation with the welcome docket and the loans get disbursed. Now, that's the ideal situation. However, Murphy's Law isn't too far away. It does strike when you require it to not to. So, Sneha initiates the application online. That's the second or the difficult aspect of things. However, the span of attention in today's millennials, I'm sure you all understand, is that she gets distracted. She fills it up. So, starts on the tablet, fills it up on the laptop, continues on the mobile. And this has to be a seamless journey to start with. Second is, Sneha is a good citizen, but her documents may not be complete for the loan that she is looking at. What's most important is at this time of crisis, how do you guide her? How do you kind of put her into an alternate situation so that she can actually look at alternatives and work on it? So, back office review, back office comes in, call center calls her. The whole point is to coach them to complete the process. And that's where she's done, she's served, she's happy. And finally, she moves on to be an advocate. So, that's the long story short. On the on the servicing and collections part, Harsh receives timely alerts that his updates are due for payments and before and after. So, payment due, payment made, payment collected. Harsh, however, the NBFC keeps tracks of his payments. I think that's really, really okay. Everyone does it. But if the mandate fails at any point of time, if the mandate fails to be collected, it should be intimated, it should be called for and worked on it. So the relationship manager comes in handy over here. The early warning signals can also be taken from the AI and worked upon. So AI driven early warning system warns that something may be wrong. Harsh kind of acts upon it, works its way out, and finally everyone is happy. So simple examples, but what we provide as Newgen is the holistic working through of customer experience, operational excellence, and business innovation altogether. We work on the hyper automation layer, that's working it out altogether through various products that we have. And it can be extended to other things at a later point of time using the hyper automation technology right from the portal, mobile, and other points of views to low code application, automation of the entire journey, and then communication, document management at an overall level. Final parting words. Automation can go a long way, of course, but it isn't so much about machines performing human tasks. It's all about rethinking of those processes to make it holistic, to make it frictionless, and remove friction between handovers and the complex information flow between the front office, mid office, and the back office at the end of the day. Thank you. That was me, Ritesh, from Newgen, your digitally transformation partner. Thank you.